Instagram Live, TikTok Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Great to have you guys with us. We're coming on a little bit early because we've got some 4 o'clock baseball. Mets, Dodgers washed out yesterday because of rain, playing a doubleheader today. So we're going to dive right into that game, making sure that everybody has everything they need for the first baseball game of the day. We're going to be talking NBA playoffs. We're going to be talking NHL playoffs. We're going to be talking a full slate of Major League Baseball as well. That is what's on tap for the show. Hello, everyone. If you're new to Butt Fumble Sports, we are a sports content company created by a sports fan for you real sports fans at home. No matter where you're watching, no matter the platform, welcome into Butt Fumble Sports. We love having you with us each and every day. What do we do here? We do research, we talk sports, we give out picks, we have a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys join us for the entirety of the show ahead. We'll be on for about an hour plus. With that said, we're going to dive right into the first game I just spoke about, Major League Baseball. First pitch, 4:10, about 20 minutes from now. Dodgers, Mets. This game is featuring Tyler Glasnow on the mound for the Dodgers. That's locked in now. Tyler Glasnow. Tyler Glasnow has a lot of stats behind him that favor him as a starting pitcher today. I know the Dodgers have really struggled over their last few games. Dodgers are on a 5-game losing streak and are not a very good team with a day off. But that said, Tyler Glasnow has been fantastic over his career as a favorite. Putting this up on the screen, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can see everything that I do on my screen, all the research, all the picks. That way you could follow along. So if you're watching on Instagram Live or TikTok Live and you actually want to see the screen and the research I'm doing, jump on over to YouTube. When Tyler Glasnow is a favorite of more than, let's say, 100 and, let's say 80, when he has a line of minus 180 in his career, Tyler Glasnow's team is 24-4. 24-4 straight up when the line for his game is minus 180 or better. It's minus 185 for this one. Just a quick note for you to kind of cap that off. When the line is less than, let's say, minus 280, so if we put it between the minus 180 and the minus 280, he is 23-1 in his career as a favorite of that line. I say that to you, 23-1. If you've placed $100 on Tyler Glasnow, every time he's been a favorite of between minus 180 and minus 280, you'd be up $2,075. I know there are a lot of things we can do in this world, but I'm taking Dodgers on the money line for this first game of the day. First game of the day, that's the Tyler Glasnow game. Tyler Glasnow game. First game of the day, Dodgers on the money line, everybody. Dodgers on the money line. Now, do you want to take it on the run line? That's where it does more become about how have these two teams performed over the last few days, or how have these starting pitchers performed this year. Tyler Glasnow this year on the road, just regardless of the line, 2-1 straight up, 2-1 on the run line, 1-2 favoring the under. On the other side, let's just take a look at some of the trends here. When the Mets are coming off a day without baseball, team, Mets, and rest equals 1. I'm going to count yesterday, even though they were technically supposed to play, as a day of rest. They're 2-2 so far this year on 1 day of rest. How about the Dodgers on 1 day of rest? So far this year, Dodgers are 2-5 straight up, 1-6 on the run line with 1 day of rest. So yes, I like the Dodgers to win because of Tyler Glasnow. I don't like the Dodgers minus 1.5 simply because of the circumstances they're playing under today. So that's what I'm bringing up. One other thing I want to bring up for this game before we've covered it in its entirety, or at least what I want to cover, I want to give out a player that I think is going to get a hit for this game. Always looking for a good same game parlay involving a player to get a hit. And the player that I'm going to go with today, we've gone with him quite frequently over the course of this season, Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman against Tyler McGill. I mentioned it yesterday. 11 at-bats in his career, 455 average in those 11 at-bats. He's also hitting .326 this year against right-handed pitching. So if I were also to put a player on the board for a same game parlay, Freddie Freeman over half a hit, put that in a same-game parlay with Dodgers on the money line, that's what I would go for. Someone's asking about Tyler Glasnow on strikeouts. I'm actually willing to look that one up since we're focusing on this game as of right now. Let's take a look at Tyler Glasnow's strikeouts. 7.5 is what I see it set at. The over's got a good implied probability, at least according to Outlier. He has gone over 7.5 strikeouts in 5 of his last 6 games, 6 of his last 8 games overall against the Mets in his career. There are some hitters who have strikeouts. Pete Alonso, 77% strikeout rate. Lindor, 41%. Stewart, 50%. Beatty, 33%. Pretty good numbers there. Let's take a look at it specifically when he's pitched on the road. Tyler Glasnow has gone over 7.5 strikeouts in 5 of his last 7 games on the road. By the way, if we think they're going to win, he's gone over this strikeout number in 5 of his last 7 games when they get a win. If you can, maybe you want to do a same-game parlay and bring it down to 6.5. But yes, Tyler Glasnow over 7.5 strikeouts. I actually do like that one. I'm going to go with that one. Tyler Glasnow over 7.5 strikeouts rather. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. That's what we're doing here during our show, is giving out picks, doing research right here live on your screen. Again, if any of you guys watching on Instagram or on TikTok want to see the bets that I'm doing right here on the screen, want to see all the research we do, go over to YouTube. You can watch everything that we're doing. Getting some questions about other members of this Dodgers lineup, so I'll kind of round it out. The reason I went with Freddie Freeman is he had the best stats against the starting pitcher and best stats against a right-handed starting pitcher. If I were looking at some of the other names that people mentioned, Mookie Betts has no history against this starting pitcher. Ohtani's 0 for 2. It's not that I can't see both of them getting a hit. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. But normally when I'm looking for a player prop bet, especially when it's over half a hit or over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, the thing I'm looking for, the pairing of variables, is they hit that pitcher well and they hit that righty-lefty split well. We're going to talk about a number of hitters that fall into that category today. That's what I'm looking for when we're looking for over half a hit. That's why we're taking Freddie Freeman on that same game parlay. Appreciate you guys being with us. Have a couple of stats I want to put out there for you guys. There is one stat you need to be aware of today. I don't know if it's going to continue, but there's one trend that everybody needs to know about. We've already given out our pick for Dodgers and Mets. We're going Dodgers money line. Dodgers money line for that first game, and Freddie Freeman over half a hit. So if you've come in for that, you already know where we're going. But here's a stat that everyone needs to know today. Kyrie Irving has played 14 closeout games in his career. He is 14-0 in those closeout games, the best record in NBA history. The Mavericks are already up 3-0 in the series. They're at home. Kyrie Irving has never lost under the scenario that he has tonight. And for all of those that are curious, for whatever reason, the Dallas Mavericks are just -1.5 on the spread, -118 on the money line. And I'm telling you, Kyrie Irving has never lost 14 games under this scenario. Oxman thinks it will be the first. Scott Foster is on the whistle tonight. Some people may think that means an extension of the series. It does not. Scott Foster in closeout games actually has a history of favoring the team that is closing out the opponent. So keep your eyes on Dallas on the money line. I think Dallas is going to win this game. I understand we'll go into some trends, some stats later. But for me, Kyrie Irving in closeout games, Scott Foster in closeout games, those are two trends that I'm going to ride tonight. Frank has the Timberwolves winning. I would just say this. The Timberwolves have had full strength for 3 games, and they've lost all 3 games. They've been at home for 2 of the games. They lost those 2 games. Kyrie Irving is undefeated in closeout games. Let's take a look at Kyrie Irving's point total. I know that's going to be a player prop bet that people ask me about, so let's just jump into it right now. Let's talk, by the way, again, a reminder for the Mets and Dodgers. We have Dodgers on the money line for Game 1 and Freddie Freeman to get a hit. So if you're coming here for that first game of the day, Dodgers, Mets, Dodgers money line, Freddie Freeman over half a hit. Let's take a look at Kyrie Irving's point total. Point total set for tonight at 23.5 where I see it. This opened at 22.5, moved up to 23.5. He's only gone over 23.5 points 3 times in his last 10 games. Problem is he's done it twice so far in this series against Minnesota. In his last 5 games against the Minnesota Timberwolves, he's gone over 23.5 points 4 times. In fact, Kyrie Irving has reached 30 points in 4 of his last 5 games against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The only time he missed, game 2, where he had 20 points. So, one of my favorite bets, and it has been for a few weeks now, is Kyrie Irving. I would take it at 21.5 points. If you can get it, 22.5 points. If you don't want to take the 23.5, I get it, but I think Kyrie Irving's going to get there. I think Kyrie Irving goes over this point total. We'll put it up actually at its original line. Kyrie Irving over 23.5 points. It's been a very consistent play against the Timberwolves. I'm going to rely on that one, so that's what we're going to ride with. That said, I want to look up this trend. One thing we've been doing more of for NBA and doing our research lately, doing it for baseball as well, but how have certain teams performed when a player performs a certain way? So how have the Mavericks done when Kyrie Irving scores at least 24 points, okay? So what we're going to say is if he scores at least 24 points, which is the exact bet we just made, how have the Mavericks performed? Kyrie Irving. Yeah. Kyrie Irving on points. Pulling it up now. So far this season, when Kyrie Irving scores at least 24 points, the Mavericks are 29-11 straight up. 29-11 against the spread as well. Interestingly enough, this has been an incredible trend since about mid-March. They've lost just 3 times over their last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 games when Kyrie Irving goes over 24 points. How about when he goes over 20 points? Lowering the bar a little bit. How have the Mavericks done? Mavericks are 40-70 straight up when Kyrie Irving reaches 20 points. He's reached 20 points in every game this series. In fact, he's reached 20 points in 5 straight games. So I know it may be just a small indication, but if you think Kyrie Irving's going to score points tonight, you probably like the Mavericks to win as well. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. Let's continue to talk about this NBA game a little bit. Let's talk about it from the Timberwolves side. When the Timberwolves are coming off 3 straight losses this year, what is their record? Timberwolves have played. Minnesota has played. Getting it loaded up. Killersports.com taking its time. Appreciate you guys watching. If you are watching the show, make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. No matter the platform you're watching on, never miss our content. That said, Timberwolves have only had a 3-game losing streak one time this year. They broke that losing streak at home against the Nuggets. That was back on May 16th. But prior to that, had not lost 3 games in a row at any point this year. Kind of interesting about that. When they are coming off a loss and they're an away dog, 2-3 straight up, 2-3 against the spread. One thing to note, the over is a popular play at 4-1. The over has been a very popular play in this series. Certainly like that as well. I do think the over hits for this game. I'll put my picks up on the board for you guys. I'm gonna go with the Mavericks. I'm gonna take Mavericks on the money line. I take the Mavericks minus the 1.5, but I'll take Mavericks on the money line on the big board. I will take Timberwolves and Mavericks. I'll take the over. I'm going to take the over. You guys know I'm going to buy it down. I'll make it a 2-leg parlay. I'm going to take the over like 207.5 probably. Over 207.5. Put it into a parlay with Mavericks on the money line. Mavericks on the money line. I think they close this one out. I have Kyrie Irving reaching 24 points. I'm not going to put that in the parlay because I'm not buying that down. If I did buy that down, yes, I would include it and make it a 3-leg parlay. But I like the points in this game over 207.5 for the total, and Mavericks on the money line. Kyrie Irving is undefeated in closeout games. He and the Mavericks have given me no reason to doubt that. I understand that Lively won't be playing. Maxi Kleber will be back. So maybe just a little indication there. In fact, I actually want to check something out. I should have done this earlier. Let's hold off on a second for Kyrie Irving on points really quick. How has he done without Derek Lively? That's a good question. When he has an out... Oh, wow. Okay. In his 2 games without... He's even better without Derek Lively. That's amazing. Kyrie Irving is even better. Kyrie Irving has gone over 23.5 points in 15 of his last 20 games without Derek Lively. At home without Derek Lively, he has gone over 23.5 points in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 straight games. Guys, I'm telling you, we actually just stumbled upon an even better trend than I expected. Kyrie Irving, without Derek Lively in the lineup, has gone over 23.5 points in 10 straight games. I did not expect this to be an even better trend. Kyrie Irving over 23.5 points is a must bet tonight. That is a phenomenal trend. In fact, over his last 16 games, he's hit this 14 times. This is a phenomenal trend. Kyrie Irving over 23.5 points, everybody. Be aware of it. Get it up on your own boards. Get it in your sports books. That is a great trend. We're getting a question about baseball. Let's shift gears a little bit now that we've talked some NBA, and let's shift back over to baseball. Someone is asking about the Yankees on the money line. Yankees are playing the Angels tonight. There are a couple of things about this game that I like. I've already bet this one, so happy to dive into it, knowing what I'm going to kind of lean into. But here we go. So far this season, when the Yankees are coming off a day of rest, on one day of rest, the Yankees are 3-1 straight up, 3-1 on the run line. The under is 3-1 as well. How about when the Angels are coming off one day of rest? How have they done so far this year? Angels on one day of rest are 3-4 straight up, 3-3 on the run line, over slightly better at 4-2-1. How have the Angels been? First game of a series at home. First game of a series at home so far this season. Angels under that scenario, 2-6 straight up, 2-5 on the run line. The over's been better at 5-2-1. How have the Yankees been? First game of a series on the road so far this year, 6-3 straight up, 4-4 on the run line. Under's been better at 2-6-1. So far, Yankees on the money line has a lot of reason to kind of believe in it. So that's where we're kind of leaning right now. Before we actually complete the thought, though, starter Nestor Cortez has really interesting home road splits. I looked at this earlier. Nestor Cortez this season, 5-6 straight up, 5-6 on the run line, regardless of location. But when Nestor Cortez pitches at home, he's 4-2. When he pitches on the road, he's 1-4. So that's the only thing that has me a little bit nervous right now. Nestor Cortez has not pitched well so far this year on the road. How about for the Angels? How have the Angels done against left-handed pitchers so far this year, against left-handed starters specifically? The Angels have played 10 games against the left-handed starter. They're 7-3 straight up. They're 7-2 on the run line. The over is 8-2. Hear that again. The over is 8-2 when the Angels have faced a left-handed starter. In fact, when the Angels have played at home against a opposing left-handed starter, the over is 4-0. Definitely making note of that. So for all of those guys out there, I do like Yankees on the money line, but Nestor Cortez has me a little bit nervous. This is one in which I would just be careful. Be careful. This might be a trap. Now, if there's anybody I do like for this game in terms of a bet, it's Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, again, I do like Yankees on the money line. But I'm letting you know, be a little bit careful on that one. Be careful. That said, a couple of players that I do like. First of all, against Griffin Canning in his career, Aaron Judge is only 1-for-2. He only has 2 at-bats, but that one hit was a home run. Against right-handed pitching, Aaron Judge is hitting .284. but it gets even better. Against right-handed pitching on the road so far this season, he has got a hit in 6 straight games in his last 10 games against a right-handed starter on the road. I am taking Aaron Judge over half a hit. Again, that would be a parlay play for those out there. Yankees on the money line, I'm going to go with, but I'm not going to put it on the big board. I do like Yankees on the money line. If you want a random player for over half a hit, Kevin Pillar. Kevin Pillar has been an outfielder around for a while. He's got a nice little hitting streak going, actually. He has a hit in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 straight games. And not just that, against left-handed pitching so far this year, Kevin Pillar, yes, that Kevin Pillar, is hitting .371 in 35 at-bats. In his career against Nestor Cortez, 0 for 1, but a small sample size. This is another player I've got on the big board. Is Kevin Pillar over half a hit? Again, he's just raking against left-handed pitching this season. He's got a good hitting streak going, so he's a hot hitter. Kevin Pillar over half a hit. You could take that one on its own, given that the value or the return on investment isn't a bad one. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Let's jump on over to YouTube and see if there are any questions. Angelo is asking about Mike Conley on rebounds. Hadn't thought about that at all. Let's take a look at Mike Conley on rebounds, everybody. Mike Conley Jr. I feel like we could get it's too bad because the Mavericks are, I think, going to win. But it would have been nice to see Mike Conley Jr. against Al Horford, the battle of two good guys who are looking to get their first title. Mike Conley Jr. rebounds is set at 2.5. The over's got the better implied probability, so happy to report that. He has gone over 2.5 rebounds in 8 of his last 10 games overall. On the road, he's gone over 8 of his last 10 games. He's gone over 7 of his last 8 games. Pretty strong. How about on 1 day of rest? Really good. Love seeing that as well. How about head-to-head against the Mavericks? Here's the only problem. On the road against the Dallas Mavericks, it's actually missed in 3 straight games. So it's kind of an interesting one here. The trend over the last 10 games suggests this is a good bet. But actually, when he's played the Mavericks in Dallas, this has missed in 3 straight games. Now, when they've played in Minnesota, it's been a good play. It's actually hit in 3 straight games in Minnesota. However, in Dallas, not a good bet. I gotta say avoid it because the trend actually doesn't support it for this game in Dallas. If they push this series to Game 5 in Minnesota, I love this bet. But as of right now, I'm not going to touch this one. Feels like a trap. So that answers the question for Angelo watching over on YouTube. Parker B, who do you like for hits in Orioles versus Red Sox? So asking about a player prop bet for Orioles, Red Sox over half a hit. That game gets started at 6 o'clock. First pitch on that one. And not surprising here, I'm going to go with Rafi Devers. In his career against Grayson Rodriguez, Rafi Devers just 1 for 2. But against right-handed pitching this year, hitting .296. Rafi Devers against right-handed pitching over his last 10 games is hitless in his last 2 games, but prior to that had the hit streak. Over his last 20 games, he hasn't gone 2 straight games without a hit. Over the course of 2024, he has not gone 2 straight games without a hit against a righty until these last 2. So obviously he hasn't gone 3 straight games without a hit yet this year against a right-handed starter. So I will take Rafael Devers over half a hit for tonight's game. Right-handed starter. I know it's a small sample size against Grayson Rodriguez. Wish it was more. But again, I just like the fact he has not had 3 straight games in a row against a right-handed starter where he's failed to get a hit in all 3. So I'm kind of riding that. I do think Abreu has been a very good play. He's hitting Grayson Rodriguez 3 for 5 in his career. He's got a .302 average against right-handed pitching as well. So Willie Abreu is another player that I would certainly consider. Willie Abreu, sorry. He has a hit in 6 of his last 7 games overall against a right-handed starter, 4 straight games. I didn't bet this one, but it's certainly one you could consider. On the road against right-handed starters, not as good. That's kind of what's holding me back against the Orioles on the road. Not as good. So that's why I'm going Rafi Devers, but you could also consider Abreu. Swamper Forever. Did Freddie Freeman just collect a hit? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me we're 1 for 1 to start our day? We are obviously rooting for some Dodgers in this one, hoping that the Dodgers can get us the win with Glasnow on the mound. And yes, Freddie Freeman got his hit, so we are already in the green for the first pick of the day. Freddie Freeman, over half a hit, has cashed. Very nice to hear that. Reese Roll is asking about Red Sox and Orioles. Who do I like in this game? This is a really tricky one for me. I actually didn't bet this game. The money for this game, the market at least right now, is favoring the Orioles. That wasn't the case the whole day, though. The money was on the Red Sox for a majority of the day. You'll even see if you're watching on YouTube, 85% of the tickets are on the Orioles to win, but only 68% of the money. There are some trends to believe the Red Sox, I hate saying this, especially this way, are due for a win. The Red Sox are winless against the Orioles so far this year. So Brian Bayo on the mound. There are a few reasons to believe in the Red Sox a little bit more than we probably should. Let's dive into the trends, though. When the Red Sox are in Game 2 of a series and they're on the road, so far this year, they're 4-5 straight up, 5-4 on the run line. Under's been a better play at 6-2-1. How about when they're coming off a loss in the Game 1 of that series? 1-3 straight up, 1-3 on the run line, 1-2-1, favoring the under. So that would suggest the Orioles are a good play. However, Orioles, let's say Game 2 of a series Game 2, at home, so far this year, they are 6-3 under that scenario. How about when they won Game 1 of that series? Orioles are 4-2. So maybe Orioles on the money line is the better play based on the trends. The fact that the money was coming down so heavily on the Red Sox kind of spooked me. Let's take a look at Brian Bayo. Starting pitcher for this one, Brian Bayo of the Red Sox. So far this season, Red Sox are 6-2 in his starts, 3-5 on the run line. When Bayo has been a dog, Red Sox are 3-1 straight up, 3-1 on the run line, 3-0-1. So now you're kind of hearing it. It's about these starting pitchers. I was nervous about Brian Bayo being on the mound for the Red Sox. He's pitched pretty well. Grayson Rodriguez, how have the Orioles done in his starts? 6-2 straight up, 6-2 on the run line. When they're at home in his starts, he's 3-1, 3-1. I'm kind of split on it. I would probably say Orioles on the money line, but I just don't believe in it enough to put it on the big board, so I'll avoid that one. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the content, loving the show. Appreciate you guys spending time out of your day to watch our show. We are so, so grateful for you guys being with us every single day. I do have some no run in the first inning plays to give out. Some of you guys really like the no run in the first inning plays, so I'm going to give those out now. I'm going to put those up on the board. So if you guys are looking for no run in the first inning plays, pay attention right now because we are about to put them up on the big board. First, Pirates and Tigers, no run in the first inning. Pirates, Tigers, no run in the first inning for Pirates and Tigers. We are also going to take Athletics, Rays, no run in the first inning. Athletics and Rays, no run in the first inning. You want another one? Nationals, Braves, no run in the first inning. 3 games that we believe are not going to have a run in the first inning. We'll give you another one. Royals, Twins, no run in the first inning. You want another? We've given out 4 so far. We are willing to give you out 1 more. This is the last one we're going to give out for this for today. It's going to be Marlins and Padres. So 5 no run in the first inning plays. It's really because of the weather. It's because of the pitching matchups. A lot of reason to kind of believe in some unders and no run in the first inning plays today. But a quick recap. We have Pirates, Tigers, no run in the first inning. Athletics and Rays, no run in the first inning. Nationals and Braves, no run in the first inning. Royals and Twins, no run in the first inning. And Marlins Padres, no run in the first inning, everybody. So those are some of the no runs in the first inning we're going to get to. Bunch of you guys are asking me about that Tigers-Pirates game. This one is a huge coin flip to me. I think this one is very, very close. We'll dive into the trends right now. Pirates, first game of a series. When they're on the road for the first game of a series so far this year, Pirates are 4-4 straight up, 4-4 on the run line. The over is 5-3. How about when the Pirates have faced a left-handed starter so far this season? Pirates against the left-handed starter are 11-10 straight up, 10-11 on the run line, 13-8 favoring the over. When they faced a left-handed starter on the road, 7-6 straight up, 8-5 on the run line. They've won just one of their last 6 games against a left-handed starter on the road. And when they have been a road dog against a left-handed starter, they are 5-4 straight up, 6-3 on the run line, 5-4 favoring the over. Let's flip it around and look at it from the Tigers' point of view. Tigers, first game of the series, and they're playing at home. Tigers are 3-5 in that scenario, but 1-7 on the run line. Tigers have been very bad opening a series at home so far this year. Specifically, let's look at Tariq Skubal. Tariq Skubal, the starting pitcher of the Tigers. If I pronounce his name wrong, forgive me. Doing the best we can. Skubal, 7-3 in his starts, but just 5-5 on the run line. The over has been a better play at 8-2. When Skubal has pitched at home, Tigers are 4-1 straight up, 4-1 favoring the over, though the run line is 3-2. How about Jared Jones? Jared Jones is one of the flamethrowers that the Pirates have. Jared Jones so far this year, 4-6 straight up, 3-7 on the run line. When Jones has pitched on the road, 2-3 across the board. I personally, for this game, I would take the Tigers on the money line. I'll put it up here above the no-run first inning plays. I'm taking Tigers on the money line. I'm taking the Pirates to cover, though. I think this is going to be a one-run difference, so I'm going to buy into the fact that I think this is a tight game. I'll take Tigers on the money line, but I've got Pirates plus 1.5. I just feel like this is a very good game. I think it is going to be low scoring. If you told me this ended up being a 4-3 game, a 3-2 game, I believe you. If you wanted to try to move the line for the Pirates to +2, you could get Pirates +2 at -291. Not really worth it, but want to make sure you're aware of what I'm thinking. So that's where I come down on that game. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the content, loving the show. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. And if you miss any of our picks, we give away our picks every day for free. DM me on Instagram. We give away every bet that I make every day for free. They're never behind a paywall. I never charge you for them. They're never hidden or deleted. They're always accessible. There's a lot of transparency. So all you have to do is DM Butt Fumble Sports. DM Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, and I'll hook you guys up with obviously a link to the SHARPZ app so you can see every bet that I make every single day. Getting an interesting player prop bet request, so I think we're going to take care of that. By the way, Arctic Tiger, I do like Connor Joe a lot. I like Connor Joe for over half a hit. I'll show you that first, and then we're going to talk about Matt Waldron strikeouts, because that's a fun one. I didn't expect someone to bring up Matt Waldron strikeouts, so I'm going to have some fun with that. But Connor Joe, over half a hit, is a play that I do like for our player prop bets. Connor Joe has a hit in 5 of his last 6 games, 7 of his last 10. Against left-handed pitching, he has a hit in 3 straight games, 6 of his last 10. But so far this season, Connor Joe against left-handed pitching is hitting .294. Against Skubal in his career, Connor Joe is 1 for 3 lifetime. That's where I'm coming down on it. So Connor Joe does get my player prop bet for this game. Connor Joe over half a hit. Now, to that Matt Waldron strikeout play. Kind of an interesting player prop bet. Let's see if that's a play we like. Matt, We need to get out of there. Matt Waldron of the Padres. His strikeout total, I'm seeing at 4.5. That's where I'm seeing it right now. If you're seeing 3.5, let me know. He has gone over 4.5 in 6 of his last 10 games, specifically at home. 4 of his last 7. Kind of interesting to note that it's kind of hovering there. He has no career experience against the Marlins. Marlins so far this year against right-handed pitchers, they don't have huge strikeout numbers. A lot of actually lower strikeout percentages than one would think. In 2024 at home, he's gone over this 2 games. There's just not enough data here for me to really get excited about it. If you told me he got it, I'd believe you. I'd take it at 3.5. Over 3.5's a better play, but Matt Waldron's strikeouts, there's just nothing there. There's nothing there for me to grasp into, hold on, and kind of believe in. So, not going to place the bet on it. I can understand why you're looking at it, but not a good enough play. Someone's asking about Ozzie Albies for today. Taking a look at Ozzie Albies really quick. Against the starting pitcher, Jake Irvin. Ozzie Albies is 1 for 2 in his career against right-handed pitching, though, this year, hitting just 246, so not a very good play. If you guys are interested in another player prop bet that I like for today, and it sounds like you guys are, so let me pull that up right now. A player prop bet that I like for today is Vlad Guerrero Jr. Against those White Sox. Vlad Guerrero Jr. Let's pull up his stats. And specifically, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs if you can get it. He has gone over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs in 7 of his last 10 games overall. Against right-handed pitching, 8 of his last 10. In his career against Mike Clevenger, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is 3 for 6 in his career against right-handed pitching this year. He's hitting 305. So the next pick I'm going to put on the board is Vlad Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. By the way, if you guys are looking for players who could get a home run today, Vlad Guerrero Jr., not a terrible play. Aaron Judge, not a bad play as well. 2 guys who I could see going yard today. But Vlad Guerrero Jr., he's not the only Blue Jay who has good numbers against Mike Clevenger. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa has good numbers. George Springer has phenomenal numbers against him. So a couple of hitters. Danny Jansen hits him well. Number of reasons to like the Blue Jays. Let's actually talk about that game right now. Blue Jays are coming off a win. Let's do it this way. They're in game 2 of their series. They're coming off a win, and they're on the road. How have they done under that scenario? Ugly. They're 1-5. That's the one problem. Blue Jays have some really bad trends, so if you're trying to really rely on their trends, they've had a lot of ugliness in this season so far. So again, Blue Jays, second game of a series after winning the first game, and they're on the road. They're just 1-5 straight up. Not what we want to see if you're buying the Blue Jays, which I am today. White Sox, on the other hand, White Sox, when they're in game 2 of a series, they're coming off a loss, and they're at home. White Sox are 2-5 in that scenario. Makes you feel a little bit better, I guess. How about when the White Sox are facing a right-handed starter at home so far this year? White Sox against a right-handed starter are 8-15. They've lost their last 6 straight games in a row at home against a right-handed starter. I wish the Blue Jays were better under the scenario, but I still like Blue Jays on the money line. That's going to be the next pick that we put up on the board. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button, making sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're a member of this amazing community of sports fans that comes together every single day to talk sports, sports betting, and sports betting research. John, yeah, Tatum came up just short. I'm so sorry, buddy. Someone's asking about Max Fried, over under 5.5 hits allowed. Let's take a look at it. Hits allowed. Max Fried is where we're going to look. Max Fried over under 5.5. The under does have the better implied probability. At home this year, though, wow. At home, he has allowed over 5.5 hits in 8 of his last 9 starts. Sorry, 7 of his last 8 starts, he's gone over this number. Against the Marlins, not too many good numbers, I will say that, in his career against the Marlins. He's actually never faced them at home. The under has hit twice in a row. This is a tricky one. I'll say the under, but frankly, again, this is one in which, at home, not a very good trend. In his career, not a very good trend. Good trend against the opponent. Certainly not making my big board. But JP, if you want to go for it, I get it. Just not something I'm interested in at all. Not at all. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Chelsea, I do like Aaron Judge to hit a home run. Mark, I do like the Blue Jays. I also do like the Orioles, but they didn't make the money line. Do we like the Royals? Royals had a crazy cover yesterday. Pretty wild game. Royals, Twins. Do we like the Royals for Game 2 of this series, coming off a loss on the road? So far this year, under that scenario, Royals are 3-1. Sorry, forgive me, they're coming off a loss. Royals are 4-0 straight up. Okay, here's the scenario. When the Royals are in Game 2 of a series, they lost the first game of the series and they're playing on the road. They are 4-0 straight up. They are 4-0 on the run line. Very, very interesting. They also have a really good starting pitcher on the mound. Cole Reagans is on the mound for the Royals. So far this year, when Reagans takes the mound, the Royals are 6-5 in his start, 6-5 on the run line. Specifically, when he pitches on the road, they're 1-3 straight up, 2-2 on the run line. Wish that was a little bit better. How about Simeon Woods Richardson? He's the starting pitcher of the Minnesota Twins. How have they performed in his start so far this year? 5-2 straight up, 4-3 on the run line. Under's been better at 4-3. Keep your eye out there. How about the Twins? When the Twins, when they're in Game 2 of a series, they won the first game and they're at home. Twins are 3-1 straight up. Frankly, I like the fact that the Twins, there are a couple of trends here that kind of back them. I'm not going to bet this game. There are trends backing the Royals, trends backing the Twins. I'm not going to touch it. If I went in any direction, part of me feels like actually Twins plus 1.5 could be a good bet, but I'm not going to take it. The market is kind of split on this one. 41% of the tickets are on the Twins to win, but 61% of the money is on the Twins to win. So the money likes the Twins to win. However, the money, 67% of the tickets are on the Royals to cover a minus 1.5 run line. 88% of the money is on the Royals. So the money is going in bizarre directions. Don't have a good sense of this game. I'm not going to touch it. I'd avoid it. Do we like Bo Bichette to get a hit? Getting a question over on Instagram about Bo Bichette from Reese Roll. Let's check out Bo Bichette and whether we like him for over half a hit. Or if we just like him in general, I guess is the question. Bo Bichette. His hit total for tonight's set at 1.5. We certainly don't like that. In his career against Mike Clevenger, he's 1 for 3 lifetime against right-handed pitching this year. He's hitting .283. Against right-handed pitching recently, he has a hit in 7 of his last 10 games. Again, I wish you could get him at over half a hit. On the road, he actually has a hit in 8 of his last 10 games. Again, over half a hit, I would take Bo Bichette. Over 1.5, I don't feel good enough about it. Can I get him at over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? It's not available. He has hit the 2.5, over the 2.5 mark in 5 of his last 7 games. So keep your eye on that. But overall, I think Bo Bichette over half a hit's probably the better bet. I could see him getting to the over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I just don't know if it's available where you're betting. Rockies are playing some inspired baseball of late. Rockies are on a nice little win streak. They really actually kind of screwed the pooch for me yesterday as they blew up my Guardians money line play. We liked the Guardians. We thought that one was going to cash, and then the Rockies came roaring back. Markets favoring the Guardians in this game. 76% of the tickets on Cleveland, 93% of the money on Cleveland to win. How have the Guardians done under the scenario that they're in today? When they're in game 2 of a series, coming off a loss, and they're on the road, the Guardians so far this year are 3-1 straight up, 3-1 on the run line. How about the Rockies under that very same scenario? Rockies, game 2 after a win at home, 1-3 straight up, 2-2 on the run line. How about Ryan Feltner? Ryan Feltner is the starting pitcher for the Colorado Rockies. How have they performed when he has taken the hill so far this year? Rockies are 3-7 in his start straight up, but 6-4 on the run line. What's really interesting though, the over is 9-1 in his starts. The over is 9-1 when Ryan Feltner takes the mound. His only under came in his first start of the year that was on the road. So since March 31st, literally since the start of April, the over is 9-0 when Ryan Feltner takes the mound. So keep your eye on that trend. Certainly has been a very good one. How about Tristan McKenzie? Tristan McKenzie, the Guardians are 7-3 in his starts. They've actually won 6 of his last 7 starts. The under's been a better play when he pitches 6-4. The under is hit in 5 straight games. So kind of interesting there. How about when McKenzie pitches on the road? 1-2 straight up, 1-2 on the run line. The under's 2-1. Let's jump back over when the Rockies are coming off of back-to-back wins so far this year. Rockies on back-to-back wins are 9-13. They're coming off back-to-back wins, right? Rockies won yesterday. Coming off a win, they're 7-11 straight up when they're coming off a win and they're at home. Rockies are 4-5. I'm interested by this. When the Rockies are at home, but they're an underdog of less than, let's say, 120. 2-2. Not as good as I thought. Overs 3-1. Let's see when they're at home and the total is greater than 10. So far this year, 7-8 straight up, 9-6 on the run line, 7-8 favoring the under. Let's say when they're a dog at home, run line, nothing there. Okay, I'm going to take Guardians on the money line. Guardians on the money line. I will take them to bounce back, get the win tonight. That's what I'm going with, Guardians on the money line. Let's give out another player prop bet for everyone who's watching the show. Another player prop bet that we like tonight, Jake Fraley. Jake Fraley of the Cincinnati Reds. Jake Fraley, over half a hit. Really like him tonight. Another player that we like in that same game, Cardinals and Reds, Nolan Arenado, over half a hit. So Jake Fraley over half a hit, Nolan Arenado over half a hit. 2 more player prop bets for you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you guys are with us. Clevenger is out. Woodford is now pitching. Wow, that is unfortunate. We built our entire day around Mike Clevenger being the starting pitcher of the White Sox. Yeah, it's Jake Woodford. That actually makes me like the Blue Jays even more, to be honest with you. I actually think that's still a good play, so I'm not going to change anything too much. Still like Vlad Guerrero, still like the Blue Jays, so I'm going to stay with it. If you want to, maybe you take Blue Jays. I actually think there could be a run in the first inning on that game, so kind of adding to our list of games that we think are going to have a run or not have a run in the first inning. I'll take Blue Jays, and I'll take White Sox. Yes to a run in the first inning. So there's another play we will put up on the board based on the change in starting pitcher. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Joe Warren, great to see you. How about McKenzie under 5.5 hits? Let's take a look at it. Hits allowed. We're going Tristan McKenzie. 5.5. The over's got the better implied probability, bud. Under's been a phenomenal trend. Under has been a phenomenal trend. It's Colorado. That's the concern. So the answer is I take the under. I take the under 5.5. I'm not going to feel good about it, but under 5.5 is plus 104. So it's a good return on investment. Joe, I don't like it enough to put it on the board, but I get why you're going with the play, so I'll take the under. D-Klotz Films is asking a player prop bet for the NBA tonight. Kyle Anderson. It's actually a great question. Kyle Anderson's been one of the most consistent trends that we've had going for a little bit of time here. Let's take a look at Kyle Anderson and specifically on points. So Kyle Anderson's point total right now is set at 5.5. He has gone over this mark in 3 straight games. So every game of this series he's gone over it. It opened at 4.5, went up to 5.5. That's where it sits right now. On the road over his last 10 games, only 4 of his last 10. But that's not what we care about. Head-to-head against the Mavericks, he has hit this in 6 of his last 8 games against the Mavericks. Kyle Anderson, we're taking it, we're taking it, we're taking it, we're taking it, we're taking it. Kyle Anderson on the road against the Dallas Mavericks, 3 of his last 4. I like the bet. I'm going to put it up on the board as well. Kyle Anderson over 4.5 points. If you want to take it over 5.5, I totally get it. Put this into a same game parlay. If you can get the 4.5, if you can get the 5.5, whatever it is. Kyle Anderson, I'm going to take it on the points. Great call there. Shout out to D-Klotz Films. Like that over. Great call. Some folks are asking about some puck. Some hockey puck. Let's talk about Rangers. Let's talk Panthers. Right now, the money's coming down very heavily on the Panthers. Panthers are favored. Money coming down on the Panthers. How do we feel about it? Do the Panthers respond and get the win that they desperately need? Panthers coming off back-to-back losses so far this year when they play at home after back-to-back losses. They're just 2-3 straight up. The under is 4-1. That's interesting to note. Under 4-1 when they are at home off back-to-back losses. How about the Rangers coming off back-to-back wins when they are on the road so far this year? Rangers are 15-9 in that scenario. The over is 14-9-1. But when they are away underdogs, 3-4 straight up, 4-3 on the goal line. Rangers against the Panthers down in Florida, let's say since the start of 2020. The over is 5-0. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to take for the hockey game tonight. I'll take Rangers. I'll take Panthers. I'll take the over 5.5. Rangers, Panthers, over 5.5. I'm seeing some things that tell me that I should be taking the under, but the fact that these two teams, Panthers off back-to-back losses at home, the under's been a good play. Look, that's probably what I should do. I'm going to take under 5. I'll take over 5 rather. I think we get to 5 goals, so then it becomes a push. I'll take the over 5. By the way, over 5 goals is available at -185. So over 5 goals is what I'm going to go with, okay? Not going to bet a side. If I did, I'd probably take the Panthers. Panthers on the money line, over 5. Kyrie, 4 rebounds tonight without Lively is a lock. Let's take a look at it. We like Kyrie Irving over on points without Derek Lively in the lineup. That's been a very good play. Very good play. Let's see if rebounds is also a good play. Kyrie Irving. And we'll see over. You're saying over 4 rebounds when Derek Lively is not in the lineup. Has been a very good trend. 7 of his last 10 games, and specifically at home. Phenomenal. 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 Cody McCormick. Shout out to Cody McCormick. Great find. Kyrie Irving has gotten at least 4 rebounds in 10 straight home games without Derek Lively. If we put it back even further, in his last 20 games, he has gotten at least 4 rebounds 19 times. So make sure you're getting it at 4. Right now, 4.5 is where it's available. It has missed at 4.5, 6 out of the last 20 games at home. That said, head-to-head against this Timberwolves team, I like Kyrie, so let's put it up here. Let's do Kyrie Irving over 4 rebounds, over 4.5. I love it. Great find by Cody McCormick. Great find. Love it. Someone's asking about Jaden McDaniels on points. Let's take a look at it. Jaden McDaniels, his point total set at 10.5 against the Mavericks. Pretty consistent. 7 of his last 10 games it's hit. On the road, 3 of his last 4. This opened at 10.5, went down to 9.5. On the road, not as good a trend. 4 out of his last 10 road games. 9 out of his last 20 road games overall. It's not as good a trend as I would like on the road, so I'm going to avoid it. I understand why you're looking at it, but I'm not going to touch that one. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're with us every time we go live. Want to make sure you guys never miss any of our picks. We give away our picks for free every single day. So if you ever want to see a bet that we're making, DM me on Instagram. Butt Sports. DM me on Instagram. Make sure you guys are getting every bet that I make every single day for free. DM me on Instagram, Butt Sports. That way you can see every bet that I make, regardless of the odds, regardless of the type of bet, regardless of where I place the bet. You guys will see it every single time. I've added a few more money line picks to my big board right now, so make sure you guys pay attention. We're going to recap all of the picks, so make sure you guys are listening up, okay? Here are all the picks we've given out during the show. We have Dodgers on the money line for the game that's going on right now. We have Yankees on the money line. We have Tigers on the money line. We're taking Pirates plus 1.5. We have the Blue Jays on the money line. We have the Guardians on the money line. We have Padres on the money line. And we have the Phillies on the money line. For those that like to play a run in the first inning, here are the plays that we like. No run in the first inning. No run in the first inning for Pirates and Tigers. No run in the first inning for Athletics and Rays. No run in the first inning for Nationals and Braves. No run in the first inning for Royals and Twins. No run in the first inning for Marlins and Padres. But we do like a run in the first inning. Yes to a run in the first inning for Blue Jays and White Sox. Players we like to get a hit today across baseball. Some player prop bets we like. We've already cashed on Freddie Freeman over half a hit in Game 1 today. We have Aaron Judge over half a hit. Kevin Pillar over half a hit. Rafi Devers over half a hit. Connor Joe over half a hit. Jake Fraley over half a hit. And Nolan Arenado over half a hit. One more player we really like today is Vlad Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Vlad Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Here are the NBA picks we like tonight, okay? We have the Mavericks on the money line. Mavericks on the money line. We have Timberwolves and Mavericks over 207.5. We have Kyrie Irving over 23.5 points and Kyrie Irving over 4.5 rebounds. We have Kyle Anderson over 5.5 points. And our one NHL pick for the day is Rangers, Panthers over 5 goals. If you missed any of the picks we just gave out, if you missed any of our research, if you missed any of the picks that we make every single day, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports is the name of my company and my handle on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. If you want to get every bet that I make every day, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. You DM me. I give you all of my picks for free every single day. They're never behind a paywall. We don't charge for them. They're always accessible. They're always free because our attitude is you're a sports fan just like me. We shouldn't charge you for our picks. We do this for free anyways, so we give out our picks every day for free. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Hope you guys enjoyed every single second of it. I will be live again tomorrow, so make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, make sure you're with us every time we go live. Enjoy what could be the last basketball game for over a week. Yeah, it could be a little bit of time, so make sure you enjoy the Western Conference Finals Game 4 tonight, and we'll be catching you all tomorrow. DM me on Instagram, ButtFumbleSports. DM me on Instagram to make sure you get every bet that I make every single day. Until then, have a wonderful Tuesday night. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everybody.